you start us off with the injury situation, please, Mark?
Yeah, from the weekend, we've got a few bumps and bruises. Peter Crouch has got bang on his knee. We've got Shaqiri may well train today, but it'll be too soon for him to be involved. Jeff Cameron, we're waiting on. We're hoping that he might be available, but could be that he misses out again. And apart from, like I said, bumps and bruises for a number of people that won't stop them playing. That's about it, I think.
You've had a little time to sort of look back and think about the Leicester game. What are your overall thoughts?
Well, pretty much what I said after the game, to be perfectly honest. We were just half a yard short on the day. They were a little bit sharp, a little bit more on the front foot than we were. We were better in the second half. On reflection, I haven't seen the game again. We created a number of chances in the second half. We were taking one of them and got back to 2-1. Maybe we might have been able to get a little bit more closer to them and affect the end result. But as it was, we didn't quite hit the heights that we had done in our previous games against Man City and Chelsea. So we need to get back to that level, really. Leicester are a good side. I mean, the fixtures we've had, the last three fixtures we've had, potential champions. Man City have the capability to be champions, and Leicester are the reigning champions. So the last three games have been difficult for us, but for the most part we've done okay. But we were just, like I said, just a half a yard short against Leicester. So we need to get back on track.
And in terms of those sorts of performances, is it a little bit of a concern that you're not able to turn some of those good things into points on the board?
No, not so much. I'm more interested in the performances, and like I said, performances against even Middlesbrough before that. Man City and Chelsea were very good. Run them very, very close. Leicester wasn't quite at that level, but I think that you can look back on a fragmented week, players wear international duty. Clearly Leicester had those issues as well, so we can't really use it as an excuse, but it does disrupt your normal preparation for a game. So we could look at that in isolation, but from my point of view, it's just about making sure that we play to our maximum every game and play to our potential, and if we do that, then we can be a threat and a difficult side to beat against anybody.
In terms of how the table looks at the moment, it's very sort of bunched up around where you are, apart from that gap up to West Brom. Are you sort of looking at it and thinking, right, okay, the target will be a top 10 finish for us this year?
Yeah, it always is. We're always trying to be better than we were the year before, and we've still got the opportunity to do that. We've just come through a little bit of a run that's allowed teams just to pick up points behind us, and that's constituted that middle group of clubs. But no, we've got games ahead of us that we feel we've got good potential to get maximum points in. So still our intention to finish strongly in the last period of the season. We've got 8 games to go, so it's clear what we have to do and the amount of points that we have to put on the board to make sure we're at least in the top 10.
When you've got such a quick turnaround before your next game, how difficult is it for you as manager to be able to work on specific things?
Yeah, it's difficult. So I mean, it's more about really recovery and just making sure physically we're okay. Clearly, we'll do more work off the pitch in terms of feeding things back to the guys in regard to their efforts at the weekend and how that will affect could affect their performances going into this game. We obviously talk about the opposition as well, so that will be done more on inside the meeting room in groups, and making sure we've got the information and giving the information to the players that they need. It's less about getting on the grass and going through shape and whatever, because the turnaround is too quick and they're still recovering to a certain extent today. So it's just about making sure that physically they have that freshness in their play tomorrow, and the information that they need going up against good opposition.
And as far as Burnley are concerned, we know about their home form this season. How impressed have you been by what you've seen from their performances at Turf Moor?
Yeah, their home form has been exceptional, and as good as anybody's. You see the teams that they've gone up against, even games that they haven't won against the top 6 sides, they've run them very, very close. And I watched them against Liverpool at Anfield as well, and although their away form isn't that good on paper, I actually thought their performance against Liverpool was good. So they've clearly learned from the last time they were in the Premier League, and used that knowledge to be better this time around. So I feel they're not on a good run in terms of results at the moment, I don't think, but I don't see them being in trouble towards the end of the season. I think they've got more than enough to stay in the league this year.
In that sense then, given the run they've been on and the defeat they suffered against Spurs at the weekend, is this a good time for you to be going there, do you think?
Difficult to stay. Like I said, they don't change the way they play. They're very committed to what they do. They're a little bit direct. They play to their strengths and why wouldn't they? And everybody knows their jobs. And first and foremost, you've got to match what they produce in terms of physicality and the energy that they display. And if you can do that, then you'd like to think you can take the game to them on occasions as well. But you've got to be nice and solid yourself. You've got to make sure that you don't make mistakes, because they've got energy and guys within the team that can hurt you.
Thanks, Mark.
Okay.
Mark, after the Leicester game, we'll see a reaction to that performance at the Burnley game.
Yeah, I hope so. Like I said, it's recent performances have been good. We just dropped slightly, and in fairness, Leicester playing well at the moment. 6 weeks ago, maybe it would have been a different game, but they've turned their season around and their form around. So it was always going to be a difficult fixture for us, going up against the reigning champions, and that's how it turned out, unfortunately for us. But I've said it many, many times, when we haven't quite been on our mark in terms of performance, more often than not we bounce back very, very quickly. So I expect a reaction. We will get one. I'm almost certain of that, and that's what we'll need. We've only got 8 games to go. We need to blast away and see where it takes us.
Do you find it easy to turn the sort of criticism that they get for games like Leicester into sort of positives for the next game?
Yeah, you've got to take it in context, I think, and recognise the opposition. The opposition is there to cause you problems and affect the way you want to play. That's the whole point of going up against opposition teams and in sports in general. You're up against opposition that will affect the way you want to play, ideally. So sometimes you'll be able to be strong enough against that and dictate to them rather than them dictating to you. And for the most part, we've done that this year. But Leicester at the moment are a very, very good side, playing with a lot of form, and anybody would struggle against them. But I will always just look at our performance level and what we produced on the day, and irrespective of what I just said, we could have made it better for ourselves in certain areas of our play. So those are the parts of the performance that I'll be looking at leading into the Burnley game, and making sure that we do better in that regard.
All right, thanks.
Okay.
Thanks, guys.